So, while looking for designs of something new to do, I sort of ran out of ideas-ish. Okay, not really, I just couldn't think of anything at the moment. So, I was looking into some stuff, and I remembered an old video that I'd seen of Scalagrim's, that he had like a kind of a cutlass knife. And like, I remember wanting to make one of those at the time, just again, never got around to it. So I was doing some research on them, and I trying to see if I can find the one that he was using. And I have yet to be able to do that, but I managed to find some other ones that were labeled as like pirate daggers or pirate boarding daggers. I think a very fantasy type design because I haven't seen anything historical that looks like that. Usually someone just took a cutlass and like cut the blade way down and shaped it into a knife. But I'm like, that's really cool, I want to make that. So here I am, getting ready to make that. Just a chunk of leaf spring here that's still hot from cutting it. I usually cut a chunk off and then cut it lengthwise a little bit to save on forging time, which helps a lot because it seems to be like leaf springs at their full width are almost impossible to forge down, but if you cut it down even a little bit, it takes like half the time and way less propane. Sorry for that if you hear the wind. It's very windy out at the moment. So, barring that, I'm going to turn the forge on and start hammering, I suppose. So now that I have it all forged out, I realized I made it way thicker than I wanted to. I wasn't planning on having a cleaver so much as I just wanted a little wider, but you know, gonna have to remove like ½ inch or over off either side. Not really too big of an issue, I guess, but more than I wanted to do. Either way, I had to cut the tang down a little bit because it was like way out to here. And if you see, it's a bit short. I was gonna put some sort of pommel on it, but then I was thinking about it, like I don't really want a pommel. So I'm gonna have it to where it's not quite full tang. I mean, it's big enough to where, you know, what you're hanging onto does have the tang in it, so it shouldn't break. Plus, you know, it's a knife, not a, well, it's not like a broadsword or something where it's definitely necessary. So, going to start grinding this down, I guess. Okay, so I got my grinding done, all ready for a heat treat. First things though, I need to burn this hole to fit that. So I was gonna put a pommel on it, but decided against it. But I still have to drill a hole all the way through because I found if you don't have an area for the gases to release at the other end, it doesn't work very well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Basically just gonna heat up the tang, burn it through, then normalize the blade, go do something else for a bit to let it cool off, and then heat treat it. So for the guard of this, I basically have this design sort of sketched on a piece of 3/16 steel, 2 inches wide. It's a little narrower than I would like, so I'm going to cut this out, heat it up in the forge, and just kind of hammer around the outside here, doming it out a little bit, which you need to do anyway. Then I'm going to cut a slot in here for the handle, and then probably heat it up in the forge again and fit everything and shape it. A little more complicated than I would like, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so I have the blade done, just needing sharpened. I have the guard done, mostly. I might do some tweaks here and there. I found just by holding it, if you like thrust into something, this part digs in your hand a little bit, so I might not be doing a lot of that. But who knows, once I get the handle shaped, it might not be as bad. Just because when you're holding it, like this whole width puts it there. But once you thin it out, it might not be too terrible. Either way, I kind of have a rough shape here. Most of this is what I'm gonna take with the handsaw, cut some grooves in here to kind of chisel out. I'm just gonna go to the sander and just kind of shape it from there and work on it until it feels right. Okay, now I got that nice and shaped. It's, I don't know quite what I was wanting, but it's comfortable and it looks all right on it. The only thing I don't like is the wood cracked a little bit there. It doesn't look like it's gonna hurt too much, but when I go to glue, I'm just gonna shove some wood glue in there, assuming I have some. I don't know if I actually have any, now that I think about it. I don't know, I might dig up some somewhere. And of course I'm going to just JB weld it in place. I'm gonna do all that off camera because it's boring. Although I did have a thing, while I was thrusting it in, I actually broke the tip off and had to re-sand it a little bit to fit. If it will focus on the, no it won't. Anyway, I had to re-sand the tip. So, that's fun. But anyway, I will get back to you when I get the handle glued.